Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 41 of Builders Talk. So it's coming to the end of the year, and I've been thinking a lot about what next year will bring to the building industry. There's been so much turmoil and so much, happening that's been unprecedented that we've all been having to deal with. So today's episode, I was trying to think, what would I talk about today? And I guess I've been seeing a lot of posts lately in some Facebook groups that are specifically for tradies and for builders. And quite a lot of them are having, I wouldn't say attacks but conversations about builders. And not only do we get, this type of flack from clients and the general public, but we're getting a lot from trades and people that we rely on to do the work that we manage for our clients. And every industry deals with these types of issues, and a lot of it seems to be from people that don't understand, or they're making assumptions about things that they're not necessarily educated in. So not being educated in how builders work or their processes or what they're having to deal with. And a lot of it comes from myths and beliefs about, every industry has different myths and beliefs. And as a broader community of builders, we get tarred with the same brush, even though we may just be a mum and dad business trying to do the right thing, we still get tainted by the ones that don't do the right thing. And I'm starting to see, a bigger divide in the industry when we should all be trying to pull together and get the work done, especially when there's so much turmoil in the building industry. So today, the post that prompted me was someone asking electricians, plumbers, and other trades, should they start charging builders that have scheduled in their trades on a particular date and the trades show up and the builders are not ready for them? And obviously there's two sides to every story. And I believe both sides need to work together to effectively, for each person to get value from that partnership. And this goes the same for the clients. Everyone that works together wants to be in a win-win type partnership. The builder gets the work completed and the tradie gets paid for his time and his materials. The client gets their home built and the builder gets paid in return to manage and build that client's home. And I try and look at things from both sides of the story. But often a lot of people don't look at it from both sides. They just solely look at it as what's in it for them, or does this benefit them? And they don't necessarily look at both sides to see how their actions affect them, their clients, their staff, or other people that they're working with. And on the flip side, we also need to be accountable to, our part of the agreement or the arrangement. So as you can imagine, some of the responses in relation to this post was, yeah, the builder's always running behind time and it's costing me X to show up. There was also people on the post saying, well, why don't you change your processes and ring the builder the day before you're scheduled or a couple of days in and check to see if they're still running onto schedule. So the last few weeks, I've noticed that these posts have got me thinking, how can I solve these types of issues, or how can we as a community solve this issue? How do we evolve our business? So the world has changed in the last 2 years. And what part do we need to play in evolving to the new normal that our businesses and our lives have, morphed into? The new way of doing business. And every year I pick a word for the year that I'll try to have at top of mind and live by or make my decisions by. And in 2021, I decided on transformation, and I quickly added adaptive transformation, as we were still dealing with situations that we needed to adapt to quickly. And for 2022, I've been thinking about that, and I've chosen the word evolve this year. The world has changed, people have changed, and the way of doing business has changed. So what part do we need to play in this new world as builders? So typically builders are late adopters of any new way of doing things. We get bogged down in the doing of the work, and we don't have the time to make any changes on how we do the work. We're often forced by the regulators or our clients to evolve our business because we're not proactive in adapting to changes that may be happening around us. But I'm looking at 2022 to be the year of evolution for the building industry. Everything is out of control at the moment for us. Everything we turn, I guess every corner that we turn, we think that we've maybe sorted something out, but then something else comes up. That's what's happening to us at the moment. For example, the supply of timber. There's a huge wait, but we've evolved a process to order earlier. We've changed our schedule. So there still is the shortage, but we're maybe not being impacted as much because we have evolved and changed to fit that new timing schedule so that it doesn't hold up our jobs as much. So we are evolving, and most of us may not realize that we are actually adapting to what is happening around us, and we are changing things, but we don't necessarily notice it or see that. But how do we evolve to get our business into a position where we can have more profits and time? What is available to us, or what could be developed to make a builder's life easier, which in turn makes our clients and everyone involved throughout the building process easier. We now have opportunity for us that we've never had before. The world is generally more receptive to different ways of doing business. We've all had to evolve. So how do we as builders take that and push the boundaries of that evolution? People are more receptive to different ways of doing business. We've seen people accepting jumping on video calls rather than meeting face-to-face. People are more receptive to booking online for appointments. People are more receptive to digital technology. We now have access to a world rather than what is just happening in our own backyards. But how do we capitalize on this way of life, and how do we, I guess, implement that into what we're doing in our building businesses? This is something that I'll, I guess, in 2002 be making my mission to pioneer a new pathway. What boundaries can be pushed in the building industry? What, I guess, when we're looking at that boundaries, what makes it a win-win for all the parties involved, for the client, for the trades, for the suppliers, for the builders? These are the type of questions we need to answer. How can we evolve our business to make it more efficient, make it less complicated, make it work better? I'm sure that most builders are at breaking point and ready for a decent break over the Christmas shutdown period. This will give us all the time to analyse what is working and what wasn't working in your business this year. I'm certain some may want to step out of the industry with the last 2 years that we've had and what we've been dealing with. But this is the time to evolve. Evolution does take time, but also we've seen over the last 2 years that we do have the capacity with technology to evolve quicker than we have in previous decades. So what part will you play? What do you think could change your way of life if you evolved your business? What is available to us that's never been available prior? Will you be the one to take advantage of this maybe once in a lifetime opportunity? Will you strike while the iron's hot? I'm taking the opportunity, and I think you should too, to make a change and evolve our way of doing business. People have evolved to be more receptive and adaptive to change. So let's take that and move it into our industry and move forward. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you could evolve your business or what you would love to change. And I will share my journey of the evolution of my building business over the year of 2022 on my social media channels. So keep watch, but until next time, keep powering your business.